So
You're so sick.
dude, so
that video.
that was my first tetany situation.
Oh,
Remember when I like almost died?
yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was.
Yeah, so that was like 3 or 4 years ago. Fuck, dude, maybe
What?
even more than that.
Yeah,
But-
that was crazy.
so yeah, essentially, so for people who don't know, tetany is pretty much intramuscular seizures from severe dehydration. And we surfed all day. It was fucking freezing cold.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was surfing, I was getting the flu.
Yep.
Went home. I was like, I'm going to go to bed early. I don't feel too good. Got up, puked like 4 times, then tried to go back to bed. And I was like, oh, this is not good. So they call Mama Becky. I'm not feeling good. Nurse. I was like, can I come over? This is gnarly. Tried to go to bed there. Got up, puked in the toilet. My mom came in the bathroom, and my hands just went like this. And I was like, Mom, what's happening? Like, what the fuck? And then just started, like, I couldn't walk or anything. Ambulance came. Went in. They almost fucking killed me because they wouldn't give me Ativan. Couple hours go by. I'm like seizing, throat's closing up. Finally push Ativan. And then that was right after I came out of it. And I just pulled my phone out just to document my situation. I was like, man, I got to fart.
What if the fart was the only cause?
Yeah, right. I just really needed to push that out or
Get
something.
it out.
That's so you, Jace.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the man behind the camera is my father, Dave. Father Dave. Not a priest. He is guest producing for us today. He's a wizard with the cameras, as you will see, and we apologize for the episode after this that isn't multicam again. This is going to really set us up for failure.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a good episode, so that's fine.
I wonder how long it would take to shoot an hour podcast where it was just one iPhone and we stop it after each one of us talks and have to remember what we were talking about and then pauses the camera, moves it.
Yeah.
Move it, restart it again.
It's almost like we're such iPhone guys. We should almost just go on Craigslist.
Just buy
Get like 2 more iPhones.
Just buy a bunch of iPhone 10s.
Shit. Or just Video Leap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't have to activate them, right? Just use the video.
Right? Yeah, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, they're great cameras.
It'd be way easier to pull the footage off of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can.
Huh.
I wonder if you can still airdrop between iPhones without SIM cards in them.
Ooh, do they let you connect to Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I think you could because you can connect to Wi-Fi, and that's what enables the AirDrop.
And you can WhatsApp people.
There we go.
Or maybe not that, but...
We could start a Nigerian prince scheme with our
Yeah.
with our phones
Multi-use.
that we're not using.
Multi-use situation. So I found out today, Christian Bale, you love Christian Bale, right? Mm-hmm. He was amazing in Ford vs. Ferrari. Hey, did you ever see Ford vs. Ferrari?
Yes, I did. I did see that, and it was
Thank
great.
God.
Who fucking won?
Who won the race?
Who won the big race? Ford or Ferrari?
Well, I think Ford did, right?
Okay. Well, there we go. We didn't know.
Oh.
We never finished it.
Oh, you never finished it?
We got, yeah. we watched like 3.5 of the 4 hours and both woke up, like we both fell asleep. Like fucking who won? And we were talking about it in the kitchen the next day, and we were at Shay's like, "Oh, that movie's awesome." We're like, "Oh my god, thank you. Who the fuck won?" He's like, "I don't remember." We're like, "God damn."
Dang it.
So the Ford GT took the cake, huh?
Oh yeah.
Obviously, we could have looked it up also, but
Yeah, that's no fun.
it's
though.
no fun.
We were talking about how funny it would be.
Conclusion of the story that's all about corporate money, the real life.
Yeah, Ford trounced the front-runner Ferrari
Trounced. Does that mean like blew him out of the water?
as all 3 Ford cars crossed the finish line in a dead heat.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Think about the ramifications.
Yeah. Oh my
But they're so... It's funny because... So I've heard this. I don't know the validity exactly. But it's apparently very difficult to just go to a dealership and buy a Ferrari.
I'd believe it. It's kind of like exclusive.
What I've heard is, yeah, you have to have owned a Ferrari before to be eligible to buy a new Ferrari.
Okay, so they want you to buy a used one first, most
Right.
likely. Okay, and that's how they keep the.
Why would they care?
They had to do something. They got fucked. They had to create this exclusive club.
Yeah.
They're like, fine, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
Can't buy one.
They ain't the fastest.
You don't want it? We won't give them to you.
Go buy your Ford.
Well, you have to service those things like every 2,000 miles or something,
It's
don't you?
insane.
It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy. Do you like Lamborghinis or Ferraris better?
Ferraris.
You like Ferraris better?
Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I think Lamborghinis look so sexy, man.
They really do.
Wasn't that a Lamborghini I sent you a picture of in Montreal?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a Huracan. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. That's my favorite car.
That was a sexy car.
Yeah, Lamborghinis are definitely more. Like the appearance is a lot more exotic.
Which is funny because they started out as tractors.
Lamborghinis.
Yeah, Lamborghini company started out as a tractor company.
That's wild.
And then they transitioned into supercars.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That
Isn't
kind of
it
makes me
cool?
like Lamborghinis now. That's
Were they
Jean-
fast tractors?
Yeah. Jean Dier.
I was about to say. 50 years from now, there's green and yellow just. John Deere supercars. Dang, that might be.
Yeah, that's a cool shit.
Yeah. I guess I can kind of see it because John Deere, like their brand, when you like a John Deere like hat or whatever, they're very good at branding.
Yes,
you know what I'm
they
saying?
are.
Like
Yeah.
it's a different type than supercars, but it's still a very noticeable like exclusive brand. Like if you own a brand new John Deere tractor, like they're like $1 million, some of them. So
The big haulers machinery gets very expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see how like that exclusivity. Oh my gosh. Exclusivity?
Exclusivity, yeah.
That was correct.
Yeah,
There you
okay.
go.
I can see how that would transfer over.
Right.
You
I
know.
mean, even if they fucking made a go-kart, people would be like, I probably should get one of
I
those.
need to get. Well, they did the John Deere Gators, and those were wildly successful.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
has one of those things. They're expensive too.
Oh, man. Lowe's has have you seen the go-karts out in front of Lowe's now in Tiger Point? You probably don't go there a lot anymore. You live in Pensacola.
There's just
$15,000.
for a go
And
kart.
they're lined up like the zero-turn lawnmowers are and stuff out
Yeah.
front and like cabled.
Are they serious looking though?
They're sick. They're like fully lifted and everything.
That's cool.
4-seaters, 5-seaters maybe. Mm-hmm. They're pretty cool.
Gas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say it better be gas. Real quick, what would John Deere's first supercar be called? Like you get the Lamborghini Aventador,
Oh yeah.
Ford GT. What's the John Deere?
What would the John Deere be?
The Runner? The John Deere Runner? I don't know. Field Plower? I don't know.
I was trying to think Buck something.
Oh, Buck Wild.
8-point Turner.
Turn burner.
Here you go, Lamborghini tractor.
Whoa. Okay, that's one of the sickest tractors I've ever seen. That's not.
Yeah, dude.
That's cool though. Yeah, I mean, shoot, if you're gonna have a supercar and you're like you want the most power coming from an engine, you would probably go to a tractor company to make like if you're like, hey, I want the most power out of this engine and we have this much room to
And
do
the
it.
most hardy.
Yeah, it would be a tractor company because that's what all a tractor is. It's just a giant horsepower machine with wheels.
Right.
This is actually a Lamborghini tractor as well.
Interesting.
It's the Premium 1050.
How much is that puppy? Can you look that up?
I don't know. This is a Wikipedia. It's
Wow.
I mean, these
Yeah, that's
they're
cool.
not still
man.
selling these, are they?
I like Lamborghini a lot more now. Italy, Italian, right? Aren't they Italian?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Lamborghini and Ferrari are.
Yeah. Huh. That's really sick.
Those crazy fuckers.
Yeah.
Making the craziest cars.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't Volkswagen own Lamborghini? No. I think Ferrari.
Oh, there's like 4 car companies that own pretty
Everything.
much everything.
Yeah.
Volkswagen's a huge one. Fiat is actually a huge one. Owns a ton.
Yeah. General Motors.
Yeah.
Average price for a Lamborghini tractor is $27,775.
All right, get them on the phone.
The Lamborghini tractor sold for model years 1948 to 2021. So they've just discontinued.
Wow.
I wonder if like there's a very core audience of Italian farmers, and all of the Italian farmers use Lamborghini tractors, and that's where the bulk of Lamborghini's income comes in. And then the owner must just really like cars or something, and he's like, "Hey, we're making all this money. Let's like put more money back into the business and also make sick cars."
Right.
If they were still selling them in 2021, because they wouldn't make them if they weren't selling a bunch of them. I feel
You know what's super interesting is Lamborghini doesn't have an F1 situation.
Like a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they.
Because Ferrari has one, McLaren has one, Mercedes.
Yeah, I wonder.
That's super weird.
Maybe they're just more about power than speed. You know?
Shit.
A bull's their logo. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like we're uncovering the Lamborghini onion over here.
Yeah.
We're peeling back the layers.
So what I was saying originally, Christian Bale.
Okay.
We just got on the fucking Lamborghini somehow. Yeah. Christian Bale can sweat on command.
How?
That's how good of an actor he is.
That's awesome.
So people can cry on command, get mad on command, all that stuff. He literally, there was this lady was being interviewed who was a producer on one of his movies.
Yeah.
And they did several takes of this one scene.
Yeah.
And he cued a sweat every time in the same exact moment.
That's wild. I guess he just has control of his adrenal glands, maybe?
Yeah, and they think that it's potentially, like, he has so much control of his body. Like, he's gone up to 240 pounds for movie roles and then down to, like, 120 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, The Machinist?
Yeah.
That's wild. I wonder if he taught himself or if he had a really good acting coach that taught him.
/ hypnotist, Satanist.
Yeah, just sat there.
Yeah. Have you ever been hypnotized before?
Have you?
No. I missed out on it. There was a, well, because I stopped going to the school, but the senior trip for Gulf Breeze, they went to Big Kahuna's, and for whatever reason, they hired a hypnotist for it. Also,
That's weird.
Everybody get in the pool. They didn't do it in the pool.
Yeah, they went to.
But there was, let's say there was 12 of my friends or whatever. It was like half of them actually got fully hypnotized.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never been hypnotized that we know of.
We're potentially being hypnotized right now.
Yeah. we may have just had a really good hypnotist.
Yeah.
I did it a long time ago to try to quit smoking, but it didn't work.
Oh, to quit smoking?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you didn't, meaning it didn't help you quit, but you got hypnotized, or you didn't get hypnotized?
I mean, maybe it didn't work. I don't know. But
Were you like in a trance at some point?
I mean, I just like felt really super relaxed, and I don't remember like going out
Yeah.
at all. But, you know, she walked me through counting down and relaxing and, you know, being present in the moment, and then it inserted some supposedly things into my conscious or subconsciousness, but I don't know.
Did she use any like tools or swinging medallions or anything like that?
No.
Oh, no wonder it didn't work.
Yeah, she was probably a crock. Who knows?
Was she just like smoking bad?
Honestly, I can't really remember.
Bad Dave.
Bad, yeah.
Bad Dave.
Negative.
Too much money on cigarettes.
Yeah. All right, we're finished. You can put the robe on.
Hey, how much was a pack of cigarettes when you first started smoking?
99 cents.
What? That's crazy.
It was under $1, yeah. I remember when it went over $1, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Everyone's like, no, we're done.
Dude, when we were
But that was in 83.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know.
Remember, I think when we were smoking American Spirits, like it was our day job, I think there were 7.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 10 or 11 now.
Are they? I mean, I haven't even seen
just
for
keeps
so
on.
long. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
10x.
$11.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
They are the best. I mean, you pay for
So-
quality.
That's what all the actors smoke.
Yeah, those are then the fully fake ones also.
Yeah.
Except for Hank Moody. What's his name? Californication. What's that actor's name?
Yeah. I'm having a block.
does he
but
smoke?
I know exactly who you.
Anyways, he smokes cigarettes in real life, and he was a big cigarette smoker in the show. So he was just smoking the cigarettes that he always smokes. He was smoking Camel Blues.
Nice.
So
David Duchovny.
David Duchovny. He's such a good actor.
Oh yeah, I like him.
God, Californication is so good.
That was a great show
Such a good show.
for guys, anyway.
Yeah, very tit heavy.
Oh,
There's a lot of tits.
Really?
Yes.
I guess
dude.
if you're gonna-
Every episode, probably 12 and a half tits average.
Good God. If you're gonna name a show Californication, you better be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You better deliver.
Yeah, I feel like it was weirdly just his life.
Yeah.
It's like just a documentary.
Yeah. We're just following him around.
Yeah.
Oh, he's X-Files guy.
Yes. Yeah,
he
X
was
Files.
What a great show. That show was amazing.
I never watched it.
It used to
I don't know
scare me, dude. It
why.
was
It used to scare you?
yeah, it's just a scary show.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
See, I didn't even know.
Do you know what it's about? They would investigate.
Besides the X Files, no.
They would like investigate like was it just UFO investigations
Yeah.
or was it paranormal too?
It
It was mostly UFO.
I think it was mostly UFO. I'm trying to think if there was
but
paranormal.
it's crazy because they'll be like they'll like twist little like stuff that actually happened in there, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like a little kid, like what? These things are just out there.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything about it.
What do you
11 seasons if you need something to watch, Jace.
It's
11? Oh, I need to not do that.
he's so young in it too. He's like completely different looking almost.
Yeah.
David Duchovny,
How do you like Dave Bautista
the
as
wrestler.
an actor? Yeah.
He's all right.
Did you guys see that movie Stuber?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
I like him.
It was with that super jacked now Pakistani comedian that I was telling you about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Their chemistry is pretty good. It's pretty funny. He has that condition. I'll actually have you look this up, Dad.
Batista.
It happens from steroid usage, and it looks like your brain is coming through your skull.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the causation exactly.
Isn't it the literal muscles in your head?
I think that it is.
Yeah.
Cherry malformation?
Is that it?
No.
Type in scalp muscles steroid use.
God, brain coming through skull should have really done it. Like, jeez. Scalp muscle steroid use. Steroid.
Yeah, well, doesn't Thanos have it too in Marvel, like in the movies? I think.
Yeah, they made him have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always heard it was from like they're lifting weights and like flexing their whole body so much, and then they also have steroids in their system that those muscles, like every muscle's being used, and then the combination of like flexing so hard, and
It's just weird that the musculature is patterned
like your brain,
like a brain. Because it can't be your brain because they have the scalp cap. So there's no way it's pushing through the scalp.
your
and
skull.
Actually, yeah.
yeah.
Your skull, yeah. Occipital, no.
Dent in head.
Try, go up and hit images.
Oh yeah,
There it is.
there it is.
This one?
Yeah, yeah, both
Yeah,
of
just
those.
all that.
Oh, that's pretty rare.
Yeah, he
Rare
has it like
disease.
crazy.
Yeah, it's like mostly people who are really muscular will their head will look like that. I wonder, does that protect you from like concussions? You know, like
Maybe.
it's got to a little bit, like an extra layer.
Looks like a helmet.
Good lord,
Verticus grata.
the rare disease
Guata.
causes a thickening of the skin on top of the head, which leads to the curves and folds of the scalp.
Huh. Anyways, I didn't know he had it, and I watched that new Knives Out movie, The Glass Onion.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
And he was in that.
Yeah.
In that pool scene where he shoots the gun off and he like leans down and you're just like,
Whoa! Yeah, that's wild.
yeah, it's really weird.
What did you think about that movie?
I liked it a lot.
I did too.
That's good.
It was fantastic.
It wasn't easy to guess what was going to happen, which is cool.
Yeah, it was good because I was like halfway through it and I was like, wait, like you think you kind of have it figured out? Nope.
Yeah, it's cool. That's
You know what else I noticed about that movie? Which I don't know why they did this, but "It's a Glass Onion" it's a Beatles song. It's like a really popular Beatles song. And then also when they were pulling up to the mansion, the island mansion, Edward Norton's character was playing the guitar on the beach, and he was playing Blackbird by the Beatles. So I wonder if like the director just really likes the Beatles, or if there's like some weird hidden stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. Have you seen that one yet?
I haven't.
Glass Onion. It's pretty new.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. So you should watch it for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
So we talk a lot of shit about China on this show
For good reason.
for a good reason. But I will say, you know how tigers have been struggling the past few years?
Yeah.
Just as a species, they're like going away.
Yeah.
Almost extinct.
There's more there's more tigers in captivity in the state of Texas than there are in the entire wild.
Right.
Of
But
the
that
whole
is
world.
changing quickly because of China.
Oh, what are they doing?
They're thriving in China.
Tigers?
Or China thriving.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, they have this huge like recuperation effort happening over there.
Communism.
There you go. So yeah, I thought maybe once every 2 years we could say something good about China.
Yeah, well, that's kind of cool. They're getting the tigers back.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to weaponize them.
Yeah, they care more about tigers than their own people.
Yeah, right.
Well, according to Peter Zion, China is going to collapse in 10 years.
I saw that.
That's been a lot of people have been saying that with their
Very interesting.
well the like drought, the crops aren't yielding what they need to be, plus the population. It's like it could be bad. And historically, that's China's history back through since history has existed. China does that. Like that's their cycle. Is like they'll go hard and do like well, and then because the way their system's set up, where peaceful transfer of power is pretty much just a huge show of weakness to them. Because of that, the way like when big like famines or like crops don't produce what they need to, because they don't have a system in place where like people calm the fuck down and like hand over power like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It's just everything just pops and like collapses.
Plus, they are dependent externally on so much food,
Yeah, it happens over there.
fertilizer.
The Qin dynasty. It's like any big Chinese dynasty that's ever been. It's always very authoritarian, and then a lot of people always die at the end of it.
There's a 24-second video here from Peter Zion. If you on this, you want to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Peter Zine here, coming to you from Colorado. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope it kicked off a fantastic holiday season for everyone. Holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you call it, whatever makes you happy. Just that's somebody else's culture war issue. Today, we're going to talk about something significantly more significant. Sure.
Oh, this is 8:24.
Moving
Sorry.
out of the realm of the theoretical and the historic into the here and now.
Okay, I thought it was 24 seconds. It's 8 minutes and 24 seconds.
This is cool though. Remind me to write this guy's name down.
Yeah, I
so
can send it. I've been since I saw him on Rogan.
Did he just go on Rogan recently?
Yeah, fairly recently, and then
Yeah.
I started checking him out. The guy is frickin' amazing. I mean, he's eye-opening, some of this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got one of those big brains, like, you know, he can remember absolutely everything.
Does he go into like historically what has happened to China when this happens, and then what he predicts is going to happen when it collapses?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, if you find that stuff.
No,
I think
love for sure.
geopolitics is interesting. I don't worry about it, but it is interesting.
Yeah. Well, and that's like, so you saying this has happened to China since history? Doesn't that happen to every whatever if they go authoritarian? It just doesn't last.
Yeah, I mean, Russia's lasted, but yeah, pretty much. It's like so China's worse about it because I watched a really long video about it. So China China today, their borders, that's not actually like that's China, but China's actually like the far east part of China, like the Han. Like there's a very small portion of China, just like with Russia. Pretty much the area around Moscow, that's actually culturally Russia. And so China, there's they have a lot of land right now, but it's culturally there's a pretty small area. And so like it's divided to the north, central, and south. And so the north is like kind of rocky, like there's some mountains, but it's also the only place where they have arid ground to grow crops. And it's really hard to get that stuff to where it needs to be. And so essentially what's happened throughout all of China's history, and their history goes back further than almost any other civilization we have. They've been around longer than anyone else. But there's three, there's China, and then there's the north, the central, and the southern, and they're all three constantly fighting for power to see who's going to be the one emperor of China. And so, like, right now, I think central China, that's where Xi comes from. He's a Han Chinese, culturally a Han Chinese. And so they're in charge now, and it's like a cycle. It goes between the different regions of who's in charge. And so, like, they've been in charge for a while now, and every time it switches, there's a huge, crazy, like a lot of people die. There's famine, or there's a war, or civil war, or something happens, and it's always really violent, and people always, like a lot of people always die, but China always persists, and they always come back. But it's just this never-ending, like, up and down with them, and it's always been like that. And because I think it's because their culture doesn't allow a system that shows weakness in the form of stepping down and admitting you lost and transferring power. That's just not, it doesn't compute with them. Which, I mean, I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong. I'm not going to sit here and contemplate that, but that is why.
Right.
Like think about, if George Washington decided to stay in power for 40 years, the next president after him would stay in power. So now instead of having 46 presidents, we would probably only had like 9 or 10 at this point.
Yeah.
Because you have to have new people coming in, new ideas. Because everyone likes to talk crap about the U.S.'s political system, and of course it does have its issues. But like in any kind of powerful group like that, of course that powerful group is gonna like benefit from it in some way. Like if you're president, like some of them are corrupt and some of them do benefit personally from it, like in corrupt ways, but they're gonna benefit regardless, Right. And so you have to be able to switch out which group is benefiting, Right. So the right's benefiting, now the left's benefiting. Yeah, and it's only 4 years.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have the same group benefiting for 40 or 50 years, you have this group of people that have amassed so much power.
Right.
And then when it all goes down, it's like, I mean, the people they've been ruling, they hate them because these people haven't done really anything for them. So they kill them, or then they kill the people they're ruling over, because it's just that gap grows of just this one group of people. Whereas here, yeah, those people do gain power, and they amass wealth and power as they're in office, but they only get 4 years. And it's constantly a cycle of like who's actually got the power. Here we only have two parties, which sucks, but at least it still changes. It changes,
Right.
So, yeah.
You think it's about to swing back?
Here?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Is Biden officially running again?
I don't know that either. I think he has to. Like, I don't know if it's like I don't know.
I mean, who else they got?
Yeah, right.
Obama can't come back. Mm-mm. What if they just tossed old Michelle up there?
She'd probably get a lot of votes. I don't think they would want to do that to themselves, though. I feel bad for Obama, dude. The pictures of him when have you ever seen like a picture of Obama on his first day in office and his last day in office?
Yes, I've seen that.
Oh my gosh.
It ages you.
Like
Dude.
20 years. Except Trump.
Yeah, right?
Obviously didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Jeez. He made it. He made it through. Yeah, this will be a good 2024 is going to be entertaining.
It's going to be a shit fuck in
Dude.
DC, dude.
It's going to be crazy.
Think about what the streets are going to look like.
Oh yeah.
Cockroaches.
Everywhere. You know what's going to really suck? well, not gonna suck. This does suck. No matter what happens, there's gonna be protests.
Right.
Everywhere. No matter what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wild.
And maybe people shouldn't exercise that right just for once. It's been a little too much of that going on in the last few years.
Mm-hmm. Just calm down. So, our
peacefully, I mean.
Our original Constitution, that everyone likes to go back to that, like, oh, well, it's not in the Constitution. What's interesting about the Constitution is you're not supposed to be able to vote unless you own land. And that's still, we never really moved on. Like, that never really was taken out or anything. That's what it says. It's like your right to elect a government representative comes from your ownership and your stake in the future of your country. So if you own land and you're managing your land right, you have a vested interest in the direction the country goes. That's what the Constitution is at.
And for a second there, it was nearing where you might not even need an ID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a little different.
Yeah, and people get mad when it's like people will get mad where it's like, what do you mean you have to show an ID to vote? But it's like, no, your stance is more extreme than mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should definitely need to have an ID to vote at minimum, right? Because originally you had to prove that you own land. It's weird.
Well, that was when they went to popular vote. I mean, it started just by the Electoral College, and it was basically the power.
Yeah.
Or who decided who was president. It wasn't individual votes.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And then I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but there's a huge. I had a professor tell this to us one day, and he said, if you're on a ship and you're sailing across the Atlantic, and you're on a boat, it's like you're sailing across just on an old wooden ship. And you got, the captains and all, and there's 1,000 people on the boat. Do you want everyone on the boat to vote to make to make the decisions of which direction the boat goes, or do you want only the people who have gone to sailing school and know how to sail to make those decisions? Because there's probably only like 10 of them on the boat. But then if you have 900 people vote for the opposite thing, and all 10 of them are saying, no, we need to do this, then the boat's gonna sink. So. Yeah, I think there should be some sort of test you have to pass to be able to cast a vote.
And have a child.
You need to have a child to vote?
No, you should have to pass a test.
I think there should be a test. Yeah, I agree too. Just like you have to take a test to get a driver's license, and you have to do that because if you don't get your driver's license, you don't know how to drive. You're putting other people's lives at risk.
And you are putting the super risk on something that can't live unless you make it live.
A baby,
feed it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're putting other people's lives in jeopardy.
Right.
So,
and that goes to, I'm all about, if it only affects you, why does anyone fucking care?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But as soon as it brings other people into it, it's like, okay, there needs to be some regulation because that person doesn't have a vote on you fucking them over.
Yeah. Exactly. Crazy stuff.
Anyways, you want to run through this?
Is there a theme?
Allegedly or not? Yes. So this is pretty much like geo quiz.
Okay. I like this. 15?
Which is quite. We did a sex one last week. Pulley did okay.
I'm gonna do a lot better on this.
He didn't know what a fucking courgette was.
Oh.
He's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. I didn't know what it was either. I had to look it up.
Is it something you wear?
It's a zucchini.
Oh,
a courgette.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I know. And apparently a clit is that big.
That's one big clit.
And they're both ingredients in ratatouille.
It's like the iceberg that took the Titanic down. Just a little fun bag in the front. And the down deep. Zucchini. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
New York City is composed of between 36 and 42 islands, allegedly or not.
Not alleged. Wait, allegedly. That's not true.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's true.
Don't be looking these up. I gotta give it to him at the end.
Oh, okay.
Don't look at it.
I saw it.
I won't look him up.
Damn it.
Okay, ready? South Africa has one capital.
Johannesburg. True? Not allegedly?
The Atlantic Ocean is the biggest ocean on Earth.
No.
Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world.
That's debatable, but yeah, it is.
It is debatable.
Mm-hmm.
You can find the Desert of Death in California.
Death. Are they talking about Death Valley? Or are they saying that's the name of the desert?
That's the name. Like, that's something in California.
I mean, no, Death Valley. I've never heard of the Desert of Death, so I'm going to say no.
Okay. The total length of the Great Wall of China adds up to 13,171 miles.
True. That sounds about right.
The two longest rivers in the world are the Mississippi and the Nile.
No.
The channel between England and France is 31.5 miles long.
Yeah, that sounds right, because people swim it. Yeah.
Greenland is the largest island in the world.
Yes, true. Because Australia is a continent.
There are more countries in South America than Africa.
No. I don't think so.
Alaska has the most active volcanoes of any state in the United States.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
China has the longest coastline in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Vatican City is the smallest country in the world.
That's true.
Last one. Venezuela is home to the world's highest waterfall.
I'll say that's true. Yeah. I kind of feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Okay, you did pretty good. Speaking of the Vatican, have you guys seen that documentary of the girl who went missing there?
Mm-mm. No.
And all that stuff with, like, the Pope molesting 200 deaf kids?
What?
There's a whole bunch of fun stuff over there. Okay, so let's see here. Got the first one wrong, as you saw.
Yeah.
Over there, New York City is composed of between 36 and 42 islands. New York has 3 main islands, Manhattan Island, Staten Island, and Port of Long Island, and it also has a number of smaller islands within each borough.
Interesting.
Second one, South Africa has 1 capital. That is allegedly, it has 3. Pretoria, Cape Town, and Bloemfontein.
J-Town, Johannesburg isn't one of them? I thought that was the capital, the one capital.
You got that right. Got all that right. The 2 longest rivers in the world are the Mississippi and the Nile. That is allegedly. It is the Nile and the Amazon.
I knew it.
Yes. Ha. Boom. Got that right. Got that right. I think you got like 14 or 13 out of 15.
Nice.
China has the longest coastline in the world. Got that one wrong. The winner is Canada with 151,019 miles.
Interesting. I would have never.
I would have not.
Yeah,
known
me either.
either.
That is fucking crazy.
Yeah. I guess like once you get up north there though, the North Sea, all the ins and outs it's got.
Makes sense.
Yeah, great job. That's good.
Thank you. You know what's interesting about measuring coastlines is like it can be so inconsistent when you look at it. It's so a coastline is so inconsistent depending on the length of your measuring rod. So like you can technically take a foot of coastline, and if your measuring rod, it's infinitely long. If your measuring rod's infinitely small. But think about if you measured the coast of like a rocky, like Portland or somewhere, or like in up the Pacific Northwest where it's all in and out and rocky. Think about the difference of how long a coastline would be if you use a mile, like yards, like a mile stick, versus if you measured it with a ruler, because you got all the little turns and things. So it's like wildly inconsistent.
You just got to use one of those things that painters use.
You walk with it.
The wheel.
Yeah. Can you imagine? 150,000 to go.
There we go. That would be fun.
I mean, when these coastlines were measured, they definitely didn't have those.
Yeah, no. They were ballparking it.
Just have a low-flying plane and it behind you, just rolling on the ground.
Shit, they can calculate that stuff now based on imagery.
Yeah.
No,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, of
pretty
course.
quickly.
You ever heard of something? I think it's called a chronogram or something.
I have heard of that. I don't know what it is, though.
In the Vatican. Did it have something to do with the Vatican? Dude, I watched this crazy video like a few months ago. And so how can I you know how when you listen to a vinyl record, like when you turn the volume all the way down, you can listen to the needle actually physically vibrate from the vinyl record.
Right.
And so the way that they do that, or they physically press the sound into the vinyl based off of when they're scratching the vinyl, those micro vibrations vibrating the needle actually take those pressure waves and record it into the vinyl record. And so there have been instances where like they found ancient pottery like from Egypt or from somewhere, and as they were spinning it, there was a piece of hay that was like, you know, accidentally scraping it, and they found these scrape marks and were able to pick up like very faint audio recordings from that. Because it's the same concept. When things were happening, it was vibrating that piece of hay.
Wow.
So this video was explaining how the Vatican apparently, and only the like certain people there have access to this thing called a chronogram. I think that's what it's called. But it's these goggles you put on, and it does something to where like, you know, particles or like whatever is around you. So like I'm talking right now, and my voice is making micro impressions on everything that it touches, right? So this chronogram, apparently, they figured out how to tune it to where you can put it on and it can pick up all these different, you know, impressions that were made upon like space and time, and you can see and listen and watch you can watch Abraham Lincoln get assassinated. You can actually watch it.
What?
They're saying they keep this thing in the basement of the Vatican.
Okay.
Allegedly?
Yeah, and
allegedly.
they don't want to tell anyone because they
Nice,
saw
Dave.
what actually happened to Jesus, and they don't want to tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was real cool. I hope it exists.
We got to go to the Vatican.
I know. I want to go really bad. Apparently, it's the most evil place on earth.
I
according
think
to
it
everyone.
for sure is.
You think so?
I think for sure.
Yeah. We got to go and feel it out.
As in, like, I'm pretty sure it's been proven. It's their own laws.
Yeah.
It's
an interesting place. Imagine if I was like, hey, Jace, we're going to go to this very small private country. Oh, and by the way, all the guys are single.
Yeah.
You have to be a guy to work there, and they're all single. That's kind of weird. They should let them get married. I wish they would let them get married. The priests.
Yeah.
I wish they would have started. Yeah, they probably would bang less kids.
I know.
They tried to start one over in Seattle.
Where you can get married as a priest?
No. Vatican-esque type thing. Not religious, but whenever there is that huge
Oh, the
George Floyd like revolt or whatever. I forget what they called it.
Yeah, it's like on the tip of my tongue.
They tried to start their own commune, blocked off streets and stuff. They're like, this is going to be lawless, or like, we set the laws. We're not a part of this country anymore. And then people got shot. And they're like, fuck this.
Call the cops.
Disbanded. Yeah. We need police here. You just said you don't want police.
Yeah. The autonomous zone. Something autonomous zone.
Yeah.
Yep. There you have it.
Yeah, man. It's cool stuff. Definitely not going to work.
Yeah.
So, Father, do you have anything you'd like to tell to the fans or anything before we end this?
Stay positive.
Hey!
Solid.
Yeah,
dude.
that was a good one.
Okay, everybody, please like and subscribe to the channel. Our new song Brag is out on Spotify. We'd prefer you to listen to it on Spotify, but it's out everywhere. We're twice a week.
Let's have a chat. There it is.